UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Patriotism is a feeling of love, loyalty, and devotion towards one's country and also its history. It is why it is an essential value here at Health Teachers College, Mulago. Well, this college is a renowned institution dedicated to teach health tutors in Uganda. And of course, today we're here to witness how the college fosters the culture of patriotism among its students. My name is Jameo Nachiranda, and welcome to the Education Forum Show. Please do enjoy. Well, I am glad to be joined by the principal officer in charge of communications, and he has extensively communicated to the graduates, or you can call them the cadres, in this patriotism, after the patriotism training. But we want to explore more of his key points that he talked about during his speech. You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Um, so, first of all,
Would like to know your name and exactly.
my name is Ian Gumisiriza Jeremiah. I am a principal officer in charge of communications at the National Secretariat for Patriotism in the Office of the President. And today I am here representing my commissioner, Madam Helen Seku, who has not been able to be here to pass out these graduates of the patriotism training. This is the first course, the first level of the training that has been ongoing here for 7 days. We believe that our instructors have done a very good job. We have been able to witness what the patriots have been able to present, and we are confident that they are going to be transformed. But my major focus today was on the issue of the program itself. You know, people out there tend to decampaign the patriotism training as a President Museveni program. They say that is an NRM program. Others say these people are being brainwashed. Others say you cannot teach patriotism. You cannot teach someone to love their country. And to some extent, they are right. To another extent, they are misconceptions. Now, for instance, patriotism training or ideology is not basically a brainwashing program. And we also don't teach patriotism. No, there is a difference. We don't teach patriotism. We inculcate the spirit of patriotism. Now, for instance, you cannot teach someone to love God. You cannot teach someone to get saved, but you can preach the gospel so that someone believes with their heart. Just like the Bible says, you believe with your heart, confess with your mouth, and then you get transformed. Now, it is the same thing with patriotism. We inculcate the seed. We give you the reasons. We give you the approach, the outlook. How should you look at your country? Should you look at your country as from this perspective of me, I am a Muchiga, and Chigezi is my area, Bachiga are my people. I don't care about the rest of the Ugandans. Should you look at it in a religious sense and say, for me, I am a Catholic, whoever does not subscribe to Catholicism is not my kin?
I understand.
Should you now look at the country, one, as a whole, two, the fact that everyone who is in Uganda is a Ugandan, and 3, you must love them as you love yourself. Now, once you understand that you must love your country, the question is, why should you love it? And that's what people have been, fronting. Why should I love Uganda? Others, you hear them saying, as a Uganda, yantam. Now, it is because, first of all, they don't understand themselves, their role within this context of Uganda. Because why are you here on earth? You are here to produce and fill the earth. Not produce children only. You are here to produce wealth. That's the most important thing. When God was telling Adam that produce and fill the earth, he was not telling him to just give children and give birth to children and fill the earth. He was telling him, I have made you as a procreator. You must be a creator of wealth. And those of you have been following the programs of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, he has been talking about wealth creators, wealth creation. For you who doesn't love Uganda, why don't you love it? You don't love it probably because it is poor. You want to go where there are green pastures. You want to go to America because there is money. Others don't love Uganda because of potholes. The Kampala, Uganda, yantama, ebinya biringa ebinya. True. Yes, we have the potholes. You don't want to be in the country that is filled with potholes. You want to go to London where the roads are good. Now, you must understand, how did these people reach where they are? And how did they reach their patriotism? Love for their country. The need to sacrifice for their country. They need to work very hard to transform their societies, but first by transforming themselves. Because when you look at the country, what transforms the country is production. Production of wealth. And that's what the president keeps preaching. Wealth creation, socio-economic transformation. You don't love your country because when you go to a hospital, you don't find their medicine, or when medicine is there, it is for free. A health practitioner like these ones who have been training sells it to you. Now, that is why we do what we do. To teach people, why should you love Uganda? You should love Uganda because it gives you the environment to produce. After production, what do you need? You need the market. Even these ones, you see, production is not only in goods. Production is also in services. These are medical practitioners. They are going to offer a service. That is production. Now, to whom do you offer your service? Now, you offer the service to a fellow Ugandan. If you don't love Uganda, you will not love a fellow Ugandan. Therefore, you will not do your job as a doctor. You cannot say that for me, I will only treat Banyankole. Probably there is even no nearby hospital. Or where you have been put in a hospital, every Ugandan accesses it. Yeah? Now, first of all, we are telling this because they are tutors. They teach the medical practitioners. They therefore have the responsibility to inculcate the right work ethic in these medical practitioners, so that when they go out there to handle patients, to handle civilians, Ugandans, you handle them with love, with care, even amidst the challenges. Yes, the challenges are there, but what are you doing with what you have? Now, it is you who will make this person love their country. Now, after that, you must know that I must love Africa. First Uganda, Secondly, East Africa before we go to Africa, then African integration. Because if we were very many medical practitioners, your doctors, where is your market? Maybe you are very many here at Mulago, but in some part of Tanzania, there is a community that does not have doctors. Have you realized that every time we have a crisis in the country, the only solution we have is to go to Cuba? Have you even heard of the threat?
I've never realized. But as we continue, you mentioned environment in patriotism, and you made it a very serious key point. You even gave an example. How does that come in patriotism training with these graduates?
Now, if you love your country, you see, first of all, if you love yourself, you take care of yourself. You shower, you brush your teeth, you eat right, you exercise. Now, the environment is the same. If this grass is here, what maintains this grass? You must not, for instance, dispose rubbish that is going to affect the grass. You must not cause a disruption in the ecology. You must not destroy the swamps, because if the water catchment areas are destroyed, then you will have flooding. And then you will complain, the Uganda yantama amataba gatumalawo bwayise. But you are backfilling the channel that is supposed to take water by poorly disposing garbage. Now, recently you just saw KCCA Chitezi. Because garbage was being poorly disposed, the garbage that we are generating as Ugandans, by the way, if we were very serious patriots, most of that garbage would not end there at Chitezi. We would sort it in our own homes. We sort what is useful, what can be recycled, and we only dump there what cannot be recycled, but it can decompose. But because we mix everything, we get kavera, we mix with banana peels, we mix with maize peels, everything kwa ujumla, pampers, what, you know, those things that you use, you the ladies, and just dump. Now that is being irresponsible. You're not being patriotic, because this person who is handling garbage, for instance, from your own home is a person like you. So if you are not patriotic, you are going to mix this rubbish, this garbage. How do you expect them to handle your garbage if you have not properly disposed it off? You know? So as a patriot, you must love your country. You must protect the environment because it protects you. You must love God. That's the inner now. You in whatever you do, your person who fears God cannot do a wrong thing. They know that even when there is no one supervising me, there is a higher power that is seeing what I do. And I know we are all believers. Even those who have traditional beliefs, they know that Jaja is looking at them. Yeah? So we must love our country, we must protect the environment, we must love God, we must be hardworking. And within hardworking, we must be sure that we are managing our time properly. Time management is one of the key principles of patriotism.
So, and another factor I noticed that you talked about was the fact that it was about recruitment of the patriots, but they do not have a certificate of. So how does that come about? So how will the rest be affected?
Now, you heard from the memorandum of the trainees, they are decrying so many things. Corruption. They are decrying embezzlement, indiscipline within the service. Now, and they are saying, we wish you could recruit patriots, people who have undergone this training. Now, one of the reasons we are having these challenges is that some people have not been equipped with the principles, with the seed of patriotism. That's why they do what they do. So recently, government came up with a new policy that for you to be recruited into the service, government service, where the whether it is the armed forces or the civil service, you must have undergone patriotism training. Now, that was not a requirement previously. One of the things you had was that this program was started in 2009. Now we are how many, 16 years later or 15 years later? Where are the fruits? Now, we believe that the people who are joining the service now, at least most of them, by the time the training was, the program was initiated in 2009, they were in secondary schools. So they interacted with the program. Those who deliberately refused, even when it went to university, because around 2016, we moved it to higher institutions of learning, universities, these teacher training schools, like now the Health Tutors College, higher institutions of learning. We extended the program to them. So we have those elements who were saying, for me, why do I need patriotism? Those are the people that are going to recruit in the service, and they spoil because they don't care. They don't have their country. All they care about is themselves. So now a policy was made that whoever is joining the service, one of the requirements is a certificate of patriotism training. Now, for those who don't have, the viewers, if you have a dream of joining government service and you have not undergone patriotism training, I am sorry. Because wherever you go, wherever you apply, they will ask for it. Now, if they ask for it, don't think of forging. There are those who are thinking, I will go to NASA. Now, one of the things we do at the Patriotism Secretariat is to maintain a database of all trainees and patriots. So once you submit this certificate, for instance, to the UPDF, they will ask us to verify, and you are not in the system. So if you still have an opportunity where you are still in school, especially those at university or those in secondary schools, the moment an opportunity presents itself for you to undergo this training, please run as fast as you can. And even those outside school, they shouldn't lose hope, because we have also extended the trainings to the informal sector. Even the formal sector, those who have already joined, we can still do some work with them.
Well, and lastly, what I have for you, there is a prayer. I think it's called the Creed. Why is it so important in the patriotic training or affairs?
Which one? There's a prayer. Which
It's called the Creed.
is a prayer. Now, you see, the national anthem, for instance, or the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who is in heaven. Why is it important to the Christians? Because every day you must remind yourself, you must fellowship with God, your Father. You must ask from Him what you need for the day. Give us this day our daily bread. Now, that every day keeps you alert that there is God and He is the sole provider of everything that you need. Now, the patriotism creed, I am a Ugandan, I love Uganda, I sacrifice for Uganda. That one, reciting it every day, reminds you of the vows you have made to yourself as a Ugandan and to the country to offer service. And in everything that you do, you will remember that you reminded yourself in the morning that you sacrificed for Uganda. Now, there is also the patriotism prayer. That patriotism prayer is is supposed to remind you to work. Do not eat to eat, but eat to work. It is also to give you the discipline of eating. Don't eat for. Don't just eat everything you come across. Eat that is, which is necessary to give you energy to work. Now, it says if you do not work, do not eat. That one is not from patriotism, it is a commandment from God. Those who don't work will not eat. It's a principle. it's a spiritual principle. Now, work at least 4 hours for each meal. Before you put a fork in a plate, ask yourself, for the last 4 hours, what have I been doing? Have I done the work that is worth this meal for the last 4 hours? And the moment you realize, you should stand up and leave that food and first go and work. But also, if it is so urgent that you must eat, then remind yourself that for the next 4 hours, you must do some work.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. That was the principal officer in charge of communications. We are still having more interviews here on the show. Stick around. Well, right now I am seated amidst the ones that should I say inspired patriotism, apparently. So I'm seated in between two commanders, a parade commander and a guard commander. They're going to introduce themselves and tell us what exactly they went through and so far how they have seen the training. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay, dear. How are you?
How are you feeling today?
I feel excited. I feel humbled. And I feel I appreciate myself and the college at large.
Okay. So can you kindly introduce yourself and tell us what exactly what role did you play in this training?
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm Nabachibi Aisha Semakula. I'm a clinical officer by profession and pursuing my bachelor's in medical education here at Choters College Mulago, and I'm in first year. And in the parade, I was the parade commander.
So I should call you commander.
Under me. Yes, parade commander.
Yes, I saw you commanding. How was the experience overall?
The experience was good, only that a few challenge with the Swahili language, as you know, but it starts with you. Once you have the zeal, you have the interest, the determination, you will always maneuver. And you saw me. I did it.
Well, that is very good. And I'm having here another gentleman with me who will tell me and introduce himself to and also tell us what exactly his role was in this training.
Yes, I'm Letty Richard. I've been a guard commander, and she has been my boss for today. I'm in second year, pursuing bachelor's in medical education. Yeah, that is it.
So what really inspired you to join this kind of club? I mean, you would have gone into something else, but what really inspired you to join specifically patriotism?
Thank you so much, madam. What inspired me in this activity of patriotism is it's not my first time to attend a patriotism, but the first time I took it, it was in a Mulago School of Nursing, and the second one was in Tungamu. But when I went to Ntungamu, really I felt there was a little bit of change in me in terms of attitude and other things. And I've been taking it as a passion, even in my school, that is Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery. I feel it is a part of exercise as well as it is a kind of mind change to all of us. So I love it.
Back to you. What was your motivation? What really pushed you hard to go through this?
Okay, there was nothing that pushed me a lot because it came as part and parcel of our curriculum and it was mandatory for every student. And as I told you earlier on, that it starts with you. You just pack yourself, get that zeal and join. Because it was, as we know, the definition of patriotism, there is that bit of love, there is that bit of loyalty, and there is that bit of sacrificing for your country. So I had to do it with all my best.
Can you
I had
describe?
the motivation within me.
So can you describe like that? I'm sure there is that moment when you felt like you were being pushed Like, can you describe that sense of patriotism in you?
Okay, I must say, me, Semakula Aisha, nobody pushed me. I didn't have that force pushing me to do it because I personally reside in Kasangati. But by 6:30, I was already here. And we were supposed to start at 8. That means I had the whole me into the patriotism course. And I've enjoyed it. And maybe that's why the facilitators, the moderators saw it a gift within me, and they chose me because I was chosen to be the parade commander. And them choosing me, I didn't hesitate. I just
Okay, so back to the gentleman. When you look at patriotism, how do you define it? And what exactly does it mean to you?
Patriotism, I would define it as love for your country and loving yourself, sacrificing yourself to do whatever you can for the country, your own country. For example, our country, Uganda.
Your key responsibilities, because you are a guard commander, right? So your key responsibility. When someone hears about a guard commander, they don't really understand what a guard commander does. So what were the key responsibilities?
Yeah, my key responsibility was to organize our guards are being grouped. Like I was a guard commander for group 1, and to make sure they walk or they march in a way that is supposed to be, or it's designed for the guards too. And we follow the commands of our commander, that is Aisha. So that was my responsibility, to guide them and to cheer them, actually, to lead them in the command. Yeah.
So Aisha, take us through the experience during this whole training. From the beginning it started, because I remember it took 1 week, right? So you have to take us through the experience and what it really taught you.
Okay, it was for 6 days because we started on Monday and we've been passed away today, passed out with our certificates. And I must say, we've learned a lot. Some people hear about the patriotism and say it's for NRM, it's for those people in army, but patriotism takes everyone, because if you're looking at a change, if you want a change in maybe your home, country, your school, your college, it has to start with you. So we've gotten very many facilitators from different circles of life. They have taught us a lot in all aspects of life, socially, spiritually, emotionally, everything. And as you know that with the health workers, we are dealing with emotionally ill people, psychologically tortured people. So there is a lieutenant who talked, he was called Lieutenant Alan. He works with Air Force. I must give him a credit because he talked about the emotional intelligence. Whereby that emotional intelligence equips you with those techniques. It's that ability to recognize and understand your emotions and feelings within yourself and others, and even to get those techniques of dealing with other people. So we also incorporated HIV/AIDS within the patriotism. So I personally should say patriotism is a package. As you see, antenatal package, a mother goes for antenatal to take her through from day 0 up to 9 months. So patriotism is a package. There is drills, exercise, pig motto, yeah, those ones, all those, but it is a package. So members who are viewing us there, if you've not yet joined the patriotism and there is a chance for you to join, better hurry.
Okay, so back to you, gentlemen. She clicked, or she mentioned a part of NRM ideology, a political ideology. What's your take on that?
Yeah, my take on that is I think we should continue with the spirit, because if we continue with this spirit of patriotism, I think Uganda will be a better place to be, and we will not run away from our country. I would like to say that we should embrace this patriotism in all levels, in every community, such that our Uganda is a better place for us. Yeah.
So during this training, I'm sure there are activities you carried out, I believe. Can you give examples of events maybe that happened within the course of the training that made you continue pushing the patriotism?
Yeah, in the due course of this training, there were activities that I participated in. First of all, before even the majority comes, or before even the guards come in, or the instructors come in, they will find I'm always the first person to be in this class. Then I organize the system, the projector for them, arrange the chairs, and so on. Those were the activities that I was performing, meaning that I was showing the skills of patriotism, being patriotic to my country, to everyone, to make sure that when they come, they are at a comfort. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So I believe you mentioned you come from Kasangati, right? Yes. So I believe there's things that you want. How are you able to engage in your community to be able to enforce them or tell them to engage into patriotism, and even the school itself?
Yeah, as a matter of fact that I'm here pursuing my bachelor's in medical education. First and foremost, I work with Kasangati Health Center 4 as a clinical officer. So at the end of my completion of BME, Bachelor's in Medical Education, I intend to start teaching the healthy trainees, those ones to become Basawu. So I will start from there. Even to my family, the husband, the kids, I'm coming. It starts with you. So let us first start with the little units we have, like a family, a home, relatives. Then we go to the schools and the whole nation. We shall hope. We shall reach that change.
You mentioned the challenge of coming from Kasangati. That is quite a distance. Can you tell me some of the challenges you faced within this training?
The challenges we faced, one was time management. That was the first thing, because we will always come early, but sometimes you find the participants don't come early. The instructors will be there, but they have no one to train. That was one. Then number two, this is our period for examination. And because of that, I think it makes them to absent because people are reading books they are preparing for examination. So the other challenge I have faced is, this has been a bad period for us. So we would wish, as a recommendation, that if such activities come, like this one of patriotism, it should come in the beginning of the semester where people are free and they will be able to participate massively. Yeah.
Well, that is what we had for you from the graduates. As you can see, happy faces here. That mentioned a few challenges they went through and, of course, what they experienced during this training. Stick around. Well, you are still watching the Education Forum show, and right now I am glad to be joined by the Guild President of the Health Tutors College. He will introduce himself and tell us more about this patriotism training. Hello.
Hello, my name is Akol David Olupot, the Guild President, Health Tutors College Mulago. We have had a patriotism training from 11th up to yesterday 15th, and today we are having the pass out of the students who underwent the training, and there were 120 in total, and we have really been impacted by this training.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, when someone outside hears about a guild president, and of course what it means, what are your duties as a guild president here in this Health Tutors College?
My duties as a guild president, together with the guild cabinet and the guild council, is to bridge the gap between the administration and the students and the governing council, and to represent the views of the students or the governing council and outside of the college.
So, as a guild president, I'm sure you have done a lot to promote patriotism in this college. How is your leadership coordinating with students in the college to be able to promote patriotism within them?
Yeah, when we came into leadership after being elected democratically last year, we went to the office of the principal and we initiated a process. We wrote letters through the principal to the National Secretariat of Patriotism Corps, and they responded positively, and that's why we are having the training today. Yes.
So I'm sure there has been a lot to do, right? When it comes to this training, how have you been able to mobilize students to be able to be involved in this patriotism training?
Mobilization of students has been done by the Guild Council and the Guild ministers, particularly the Speaker and the Governor, and me myself, because we are the heads and we need to lead by example, and we have been participating. The Speaker, right, was one of the people who wrote the memorandum, and the Governor participated in the parade. Personally, I would have participated in the parade, but I wasn't feeling well.
Okay, well, I hope you will perform next time. Okay, so when it comes to collaboration with the administration, how have you been able to handle it to promote this patriotism training in this college?
With the administration, our work as student leaders has been to know the number of students that have trained and then take their measurements, like for each class. Now we have BME1, BME2, BME3, higher diploma and postgraduate. And we had to make sure we record how many students we are attending each day. And then for the logistics, we had to make sure that we use the guild funds together with the administration to have this activity a success.
Okay, so I believe this has been carried out for some time now. You mentioned 1 week, right? Have you had a few events that show that people are really engaged in patriotism in this college?
Yes, we have had a few events that show that people are really participating in patriotism and are interested. One of them, as a student leaders and then health workers, we are health professionals. We have always moved out to the communities around Mulago and offered services to them. And we are still looking forward to having a partnership with the CDF, that is the Chief of Defense Forces. I wrote a letter through the principal and we are yet to deliver it. We want to have a community outreach within this area and give out the services to the population, because we have diverse students of various qualifications in different fields of medicine, doctors, we have clinical officers, we have physiotherapists, we have ENT officers, we have lab, so many.
Okay, so I'm sure there are programs or initiatives that you have made sure to carry out to encourage these students to be able to get involved into this patriotism activity or training. How so far? And can you even give us some examples of those initiatives that you've done?
One of the initiatives is we have a work plan for our academic year. And then when we engage the students to participate in this, we really do not make sure that we need a payment, but we are giving out a service free of charge to the population without a pay. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That has been the Guild President. We are still having more interviews. Stick around. Well, I am now glad to be joined by the chief guest of the Patriotism training today here at Health Tutors College, Mulago. You're very welcome to the show, and it's nice to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity of me talking to you. It's a pleasure, yes.
Thank you very much. So you are going to introduce yourself and tell our viewers your name and exactly what you do.
Dear viewers, my name is Sempra Sebastian. I work with the Ministry of Education and Sports in the Department of TVET Trainers, Training, Research and Innovation as a Principal TVET Officer in charge of Research and Innovation.
So today you were the chief guest of this great event here at Health Tutors College, Mulago. And I think we would like you to elaborate more on why the government has invested so much time in ensuring that patriotism is highly enforced in different institutions in Uganda.
I would like to say I thank the government for the enabling environment, dear viewers. You realize that this program is part of health training because it inculcates the norms and values people love our country. Okay, you remember very well that in whatever we do, we are called for three things. One, service delivery, and since this is a college, these are tutors, when we roll them out the world of work, they are going to serve the community. Okay? because they have that community wing. Then we do work for products. Like here, we are rolling out them. They are now our new patriots in Uganda now. We have rolled them out. Then decision making, okay. But you know that decision making is very difficult. But I thank the wisdom of His Excellency, who said that patriotism should be part of the co-curricular activity of schools and encourage all teacher training institutions in Uganda, whether private or government, to embrace this approach, because at the end of the day, the graduate will be holistic. Okay, when you graduate from here at a state college, you are a holistic person to serve this country, Uganda. So this training is crucial and very paramount as far as training in Uganda is concerned.
With my observation, I noticed that the people that participated in this patriotic training were not even old people, actually. They were mostly youngsters. What can you make of that?
These are not younger people. You realize that to reach this level of training, you first go through several courses to come here. Admission criteria is very clear that to join here, you should have served. Some are coming from hospitals, okay? They have been serving as nurses in the hospital, midwife. Some are allied workers. Therefore, what I'm trying, these are mature people, because some of them are pursuing a degree. But after work experience, you have to undergo through a training of becoming a nurse. You serve in the community at least 2 years before you come here. So they look small, but they are mature people. They are all above 18, and I believe that they have grasped the concept of a national, to love your country, as they are calling political dialogue. You should love your country, Uganda, because for me, I've traveled several countries. There is no country which is better than Uganda. In terms of, here we have freedom, oxygen is free. You see, Uganda is good. If you travel, you really appreciate the temperatures, okay? So these are not younger people. I believe they have grasped the concept, and I really congratulate them because we have passed them out. And want them to serve the society, because they are going to train the LS workers in all parts of the country. Because these trainees, they are drawn from across the whole regions in the whole country. So the number is few because of the limited space we have here. The number is still few. Yeah, but in the future we intend to expand. Yeah.
What gains do you think we can stand as a country via social, economical, and political aspects if we adapt to patriotism in our country?
You are meaning gain in which way?
Via social, economic, not only in institutions like here.
If you train a health worker, okay, these people, they are going to train the health workers. So we are going to contribute on the, we call it, economic development of the country. Here we are looking at economic what? Development of the country. That's why our NDP 4 focus on human capital development. And this, what we are doing here, is one of the simple things we can do as an institution, okay? To equip this person, health tutor, whom we are going to roll out with all skills, competences, because we want this person to be holistic when you go to serve the community.
Okay, when it comes to roles, what role do you think patriotism has played in promoting national unity in our country?
I can say it is to a great extent. People who go through these trainings, I'll give you an example, soldiers, okay? Even teachers, ourselves, me and myself, I'm also trained, I'm a trained instructor. We behave different from other people. This training is good. It humble you. It humble you. You behave like a professional. So for me, I believe this training should be continuous, okay? And even in secondary should be continuous, because this is part of one way of making people love their country. Some people don't appreciate Uganda because they don't read through some don't read the history of where we have come from. But when you go through this training of patriotism. It shapes you. You really love your country, and if you are given a responsibility, you deliver without fail. Because what fail people at the workplace, they lack some competences, but here they have got competences to enable them to do their work better. And I thank the government for really thinking about this initiative. And we ask for more resources such that many people can benefit from this such trainings, because it is good. When you go through it, you really appreciate the training is what? It's good. Yes. Thank you very much.
So, what message would you like to give to the viewers about the importance of patriotism in the country here, Uganda?
There are many importance of undergoing through this training. As I mentioned, that one of the critical role, what we are grappling with is, I call it integrity. This training, when you go through it, you really appreciate that we have to be integral when we are given offices. Okay, integral, I mean, you do something when no one is seeing you, but you are doing only right things. Okay, that's the major focus of this training. And if all Ugandans can go through this training, even the love of our country, you see, when you go through this training, you appreciate that you have to love Uganda. And as I've told you, that those who have not traveled, they don't appreciate Uganda. But when you travel, you really appreciate your country, Uganda. Okay? Uganda is good. It's a very good country. So I will not elaborate very many. I just gave you a very few, but there are very many advantages of patriotism. Yes, like knowing the economic growth of a country, because they go through that mode, economic growth of a country. You see, Uganda is the second in Africa with the younger population. Our population is young, and the only way we can do for this country is to skill the population. How are you going to skill the population? Through training the health tutors. When they go, they will do a multiplier effect. A multiplier effect is very high in that these health tutors, when they are training, they train many health workers. Okay, so the multiplier effect is very high. So I believe this intervention is not a waste of resources, but it is a contribution to our economic development.
Well, that was the chief guest mentioning some of the benefits and also advantages that those that have been, or you can call them graduates, that they have gained out of this training. Well, I'm glad to be joined by the principal of the Health Tutors College here in Mulago, who will give us a brief or clear background about the college and probably introduce herself to our viewers. Hello, Madam. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm glad to be here with you. This is Health Tutors College Mulago, and I'm Dr. Karen Carroll Daterai Kobwa, the principal for Health Tutors College Mulago.
Yes. So we would like to know the background, because I believe every institute has a background to where it is and how it was founded.
Okay, thank you very much. Viewers, Health Tutors College Mulago is a government-owned institution which trains health workers who are going to be teaching in health training institutions all over the country. That includes the nurses, the midwives, the allied health professionals, which includes the laboratory people, the physiotherapists, the occupational therapists, and many more others. So all the health training institutions in the country get their tutors from here. And these tutors are responsible for training the health workers who work in the health facilities all over the country. And the institution was in place way back in 1967. That's when it came to be in place. It was first under Ministry of Health, But in 1998, when the government transferred the schools to Ministry of Education, it was one of the institutions which was now transferred under Ministry of Education. So currently we are under the Ministry of Education, directly being supervised by the Department of TVET, Trainers and Innovation and Research Department.
Okay, so today we were able to view something different, which was the patriotism training. And of course, we have seen graduates, I should call them graduates, right? So were you able to come up with that? Yet this is a health tutors college.
Okay, thank you. You know, at Health Tutors College, we train the tutors. And here we have actually 3 programs. We have the Bachelor of Medical Education program, we have the Postgraduate Medical Education program, and the Higher Diploma Clinical Instruction program. And these people are going to teach in the health training institutions. And you very well know that the ideology of patriotism is that you love yourself, you love your country, and you must be able to serve your country. And now these people, when you look at our profession, we are having values which we always look into. And at the same time, patriotism also has those values which they always want to look into their citizens. So we look at these students getting this patriotic training so that they are able to pick the ideology of patriotism, whereby it will help them to be responsible people in their communities, and they'll be able to serve their people willingly without being forced by anybody. And also it will help them to love their country and work willingly. Even though besides hardships, they will always be willing to sacrifice and give service to their country. And by taking them through this patriotism training, it is going to impart into them the feeling of loving their country, being responsible and developmental people, such that they go out there and mobilize people to be doing the right things, which will promote the country to higher levels, either than somebody who will always come with negative ideas and try to bring negative ideas into people and do the wrong things. You know, in a place where you have very many different people coming from different areas, and then you have somebody who is responsible going through with them, that is where you have these students who are going to be health workers out there. When they come and you teach them to be responsible, you teach them to love whatever they are doing, they will love these patients. So working with the patients will become very easy. You know what people say these days? Going to the hospital is like a nightmare. So when we have such a patriotic tutors teaching these health workers, it will make things be different. So it will create a change in the situations which are currently existing. Thank you.
So I believe the college has values, that is to say compassion, professionalism, and innovativeness, integrity, teamwork. Basically, that is what patriotism is all about. And of course, time consciousness. How does this relate to patriotism?
You know, patriotism, we say, in patriotism, we are able to create the people who are passionate in whatever they do, people who are willing to sacrifice. As the goal says, you must love your country, be able to serve your country, be able to sacrifice yourself to do things which are going to make your country better. So in our values of saying that we are compassionate in what we do, and whatever we do it lovingly, not just doing it to do something and let it go, but we want to do something which will be appreciated and which people will know that we love what we are doing. So by carrying on the patriotic training for the students, it is going to instill in them the values which will help them take up the goals of the Patriotic Secretariat, which is to practice in being a citizen, loving your country. So once we have those values in our students, it will be very easier for them to instill the patriotic values in them. So it is a bit easier now for us when we take them through the patriotic training, and we know they already have the values of the college. And since our mission is to be a center of excellence, it will make it easier for us. And when they go out there, what is going to happen there? They are going to pass the right information to the people they interact with.
You mentioned it being a must for every student to at least participate in this every year. Why should it be a mandate for everyone?
Because I want them to take up that goal of the Patriotic Secretariat, which is to love the country, to serve the country, and to sacrifice for the country, and to also love themselves. Because once you love yourself, you'll always want good things for yourself. So when you are nursing the patients, you will know you want these patients to improve and be well tomorrow. So everything will be done in the right way. But when these students, others come and others don't, then it will mean you don't want them to actually pick up the values which others are picking. Then you would not have done the right thing. So making it mandatory for all of them will actually help the graduates all to come out when they are well trained, and the work out there will be very easy. Other than somebody saying, where did this tutor come from? They say Health Tutors College. Then they will identify that tutor who comes from Health Tutors College plus another tutor who may be coming from another institution.
Okay, so lastly, I think this is the most important one too. When it comes to studies, how is this patriotism training elaborating their studies? Doesn't it affect their time management? And remember, they are going for examination week. How are they able to balance both?
Wow. Ministry of Education and Sports, as it reads, both academics and co-curricular go together. So this patriotism is more of the co-curricular, whereby once they are there for that exercise, it actually helps their brain to work better. And it will let them have a relaxed mind. And by the time they come back to the books, they are going to concentrate, because they know this 1 week we have been for this training, we've wasted a lot of time. So they'll settle down and revise, and definitely they will perform better.
Thank you so much. Well, that has been the principal of Health Tutors College, Mulago, who was able to mention the values and the importance of patriotism in this college. Well, that is what we had for you in today's edition of the Education Forum Show. Focus was on patriotism here at Health Tutors College, Mulago. See you next time. I remain Jemeona Chiranda. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Winning requires muscles tougher than concrete. But when you shop with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN, and pay. Congratulations! You have finished shopping and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
The Ministry of Health informs the general public that there are some cases of Mpox detected in Uganda. The ministry, working with partners and affected district local governments, are doing their best to contain the situation. The signs and symptoms of Mpox are body rash, fever, general body weakness, headache, sore throat, nasal congestion or cough, and swollen lymph nodes. You can prevent yourself from getting infected with Mpox by avoiding close contact with people who have been confirmed to have Mpox or who have signs and symptoms of Mpox. Avoiding touching or sharing personal items like beddings, eating utensils, phones, or other belongings of a person who has the signs and symptoms of Mpox. Avoiding contact, including eating, with all wild animals, alive or dead, especially those known to carry the virus, such as rodents and monkeys, and those that appear sick or have been found dead. Getting vaccinated if you're among those who have been identified to be at high risk of Mpox infection. Mpox is treatable and usually goes away after 2 to 4 weeks. However, it can be severe, causing even death, especially among children, pregnant women, and those with other health conditions. For more information and support, contact your nearest health worker. Call the Ministry of Health's toll-free line on 0800 100 066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500.
The Homes and Construction Expo is back. Are you looking for answers to your property and real estate development questions? Come and interact with experts in the industry, including architects, engineers, developers, interior designers, financiers, and more from 30th November to 1st December 2020.